created about 70 AI agents. We have created about 10 agentic AI projects. We have created about 15 web apps, and we have created about almost 15 cross-ministry project validations. How amazing is that? And of course, some of them have AI in the city embedded into it. And of course, why are we here? And why are these three speakers here today? That's the reason for it. Everything is here for a purpose. And later you'll see that all three of them, from the front end to the middle end to the back end, everything is integrated. If you can share my slides as well, my one-page fun web app. Okay, this was done in 1 hour. If you can scroll up a bit. Okay, I dah nakal sedikit. Okay, this is actually for those who want. You can see the link. I can share later. It has my intro scripts. Go down a bit. Turun. Okay, more. Introduction of speakers, which I will say later, and then okay, the next part will be on the speakers. Speakers information. What are their strengths? Charlie, evidence architecture. Franklin, implementation excellence. Natalie, adaptive implementation. And then the questions that I have for them are all here. Everything is so easy because why? It's done by AI, all in 1 hour. Questions for every speaker. Synthesis questions. Frameworks, thank you. Inspired by McKinsey, BCG and all that. And synthesis. Of course, turun sedikit, where they all come together in AI in the city. And of course, live notes. The last part before I sibo. Okay. As they talk, AI has enabled me today in the world of moderation. I will type in some of my insights from what they will share. And I'll click generate synthesis and it will summarize for me. Don't you think that's so fun? Thank you. Okay, next. Now I'm going to be more serious. Okay, so for Malaysia and ASEAN, okay, AI in the city is not just a simple topic. All of you, in one way or the other, you are connected, correct? Whatever you do, whether you're a man in the street or you're a student, we are all part of AI in the city. City doesn't mean urban or suburban. Grassroots is also part of the technology that is embedded in AI in the city. I come from an area where I used to do grassroots innovation. And I can tell you, everything that the three of them do are all embedded. Okay, so today, in a short timeline, we're going to actually, I forgot to click start my timeline. You need to put other timer, by the way. Okay, I'm going to introduce the three of them. Charlie Cole. Bagi tepukan, everybody. Okay, Charlie is what I call evidence architecture. This is the foundation of intelligent cities. So she's the founder, she's the CEO of this company called UrbanMetry. Nampak canggih kan? And she's the only Malaysian, ladies and gentlemen, among 100 global World Economic Forum technology pioneers in 2023. Are we proud or not? Yes. Okay, she has a master's in city planning from MIT. Whoa, my dream one. Okay, and she's transformed how cities make decisions by converting raw data into competitive intelligence. And her work has influenced over $8 billion worth of urban projects across Southeast Asia. See, they are so proud of you. Okay, she used to be on the board of time.com, and basically she understands corporate governance and not just technology. And with Charlie, we're going to learn how, so noisy over there, successful smart cities start with evidence-based decision making. And in the middle, the handsome James Bond, out with three beautiful ladies, look at him, Franklin Lingga. Okay, he's into implementation excellence. Okay, so he is the bridge between AI capability and the real world out there. Okay, so as CEO of TIZA AI, is there a nama samaran ke? TIZA AI, he's proven that AI is transcend above industry boundaries. And his journey is, did you know he used to do BMW's EV development? And then from there, he masuk into agriculture optimization, EV to agriculture. And then he went into urban governance. Betul tak? Okay, and he's very serious. This is a new. Okay, no, I'm making me laugh. Okay, so he has achieved a lot of measurable results, including 28% cost savings in bandwidth optimization and secured ministry approvals for his solutions. It's very, very, very worthy, but I think we are all okay with that. Okay? And he's an international speaker on AI ethics in Germany. Do they understand? Okay. And in the UK. So he champions the principle that AI should empower. AI should not intimidate. Okay? So frankly will show us how implementation excellence creates sustainable competitive advantage. And last but not least, we have Natalie. She is what I call a rocket scientist. No, she just flew in from Japan and she's going to fly out back to Japan after this session. Okay, so Natalie is what I call adaptive implementation. Okay, she has the recognition that AI solutions must match a country's development stage and also local needs. Not creating AI for the sake of creating AI, as we always hear, but what can we really benefit from it, okay? And she's the head of tech at Unbound. And of course, she is an award-winning technologist featured in British Media and ABC News. Bagi tepukan semua. Okay, and she's also recognized by the Australian High Com for her work on smart cities and national digital transformation initiatives. Okay, and she has 10 years. I know she's very young, right? But she has more than 10 years of proven government-private partnerships. And she has done innovations in AI, AR, and data systems, power infrastructures across the globe. So if you look at her young age, she's not just, I think we should be very proud of her as well, okay? She's not just about building the most advanced or bigger systems, but she is looking at a multi-stakeholder approach that listens to local contexts. We go local, but we are also powered locally, okay? And she demonstrates that no matter how big or small you are in terms of economy, okay, having the right AI systems are based on lessons learned from past deployments. Okay, what really works out there? And Natalie will prove that to us later. There's a suitable AI solution for every stage of development. So, all three of them, I call them in a triangle. I showed a bit of it earlier. I call them the urban AI competitive advantage pyramid. Very, very big word, but it doesn't matter. Basically, they are evidence of how AI in the city works. And now, may I call upon Charlie Cole to share her insights.
Thanks, Caroline. I think you have so much energy, I don't know how to match it. But so thanks everybody for giving me 5 minutes to show you a little bit about what we do. I'm Charlie. I'm the CEO and founder of UrbanMetry. We're based here in KL, but we serve the region. So we have projects in Japan, we've done work in Vietnam and Thailand. We have some team members in Vietnam, but mainly we are based here in Malaysia. The company basically looks at 3 things, right? So we look at data collection, data analysis, and basically motivating our key stakeholders on how we build better cities. That's our motto. It's easier for me to show you what we have done because there's a lot of words and it's very difficult, right? So the fundamental gist of it is that we have been collecting large amounts of geospatial data. So a lot of Gen AI you see today is language, right? So it's about words. We collect mostly geospatial, so anything you can see in the space region, but we specialize in developing countries. So in developed countries, they generally have a very rich database that the government has invested in, but in developing cities, we don't have that. So for almost a decade, UrbanMetry has been collecting this data, and we have been transforming that into insights and then now to implementation tools for us to build better cities, right? So I'm going to show you a video on an example of what we have done to do that. Yeah, so this is a network planning tool that we built for Prasarana here in Kuala Lumpur and for Rapid Bus, Rapid KL, right? So what we do is the bus company purchases a lot of data from us, so including things like mobile data, destination heat maps, high-rise densities, population, commercial areas. All this is provided by UrbanMetry. We then overlay on top of it the routes that the buses have already planned or will plan. So using this, we are able to actually identify where are popular destinations for folks in the city. And this is just an example on how we could put together open source softwares like QGIS and basically help cities model how they plan our public transportation. So on the right is a model that UrbanMetry has built. It's just bunch of code, and then when we input the new route that the bus systems want, whatever route you want, whatever time you want to add a bus, weekend, weekday, we then predict the ridership of that bus routes, right? So you can see here the new proposed riderships for Route 771. We are able to do this. So believe it or not, previously, what they do is they just put the bus on the road and see what happens, right? So now with the data, the amount of data that we can get today, we can save a lot of resources predicting and testing routes with a software like this before they roll out buses. So why is this important? This is important because developing cities especially has very limited resources. So everybody else is earning in US dollars, we are earning in ringgit, for every ringgit that we spend, we want to make the most out of it, right? So the same story we are seeing in Sri Lanka, the same story we're seeing in Nepal, where they cannot afford billions and billions of dollars of transport or trains. So buses like this would be able to serve. So in a nutshell, of all the data that we do and all the tech that we employ and all the AI that we use, it is actually to deliver efficiency in the city. Thanks.
That was quick, Charlie. Okay, I have one question for you. Basically, on what she has demonstrated with Prasarana. Okay, were there any initial challenges in getting the project planning from planning to implementation?
So I think the difficulty is that a lot of times when you want to build new tech, right, and you want to demonstrate value, but before the value is demonstrated, it's very hard to build trust, right? Is this thing going to work or not? Is it going to bear fruit? Are we going to save money, right? As infrastructure providers, it is very important. Efficiency is very important. So demonstrating that trust in the technology the ability to do that is very, very important. And I think the commitment to deliver is also very important. So I think a lot of things that we don't understand, we don't trust, right? So, which is the same with AI, in the beginning. But competency is a very, very big part of trust. So when you're competent, then you are able to build that trust very easily. You're able to demonstrate value. I'm very, very proud to say this specific tool that we've built has allowed the bus company to achieve 85% accuracy
How
in their
long
route.
did it take to get from presentation of the proposal to getting the go ahead from Prasarana?
Maybe like 18 months, 12.
18 months.
Yeah.
So for the 22 ministers out there, it's normal, right? When we were saying you need time. Okay? Yeah. Any
Trust
last
needs
advice?
time.
Trust needs time. Betul tak? Okay. Thank you, Charlie. And of course, next we have Franklin. Franklin Lingga from the CEO of TIZA AI. So I believe that you're a cross-sector AI expert. So let's give a round of applause to Franklin, our only James Bond on this stage.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you very much, Madam Caroline. Thank you very much, Miss. So actually, I'm very honored to come back to Malaysia. This is my first summit and my first forum after come back from Europe last 1 to 2 years lah, and I'm very happy have a chance to speak. And of course, most of the thing that I do is I'm develop AI. I'm doing the AI developments from data collections, data labeling, data management, algorithm development, and deploy to the high processing facility and training, inference, fine tune. I went through a lot since I was in Germany, and of course, AI actually is something that are not so new to if you went through AI since 2012 2013, AI actually already been developed slowly, but now we can see that how good the AI is, how big the AI is, especially after initiative from the big country in terms of the developments, innovations of the GPU, innovations of the LPU, uh, TPU, and of course, we as humanities that are involved in this era, we need to be proud of. So I want to share to you guys on few things that I already went through that I developed. This is my name. I'm from Sarawak. Anyone from Sarawak here? Yeah.
Jason mana? Ah, Jason.
Yeah. Hello.
Tu.
So I'm from Kapit, Sarawak. So, came back from the Europe. I founded the TIZA AI Student Bahat with my co-founder. I can say my mentor lah, Tan Sri Noza Zakaria. And then this is my expertise, AI development and consultations. This is my journey lah in AI. So my focus for these 5 minutes has been given to me is data consumption management engine and the proven across sector. So in AI, data is often called the new oil. We always talk about the new oil data in Sarawak since 2015, 2016, 10 years ago, right? And then, but the real challenge is the advantage is in the governments, in the big entities, to collect data is something that are easy because we have the historical data, we have analog or digital data that we can compile, but to manage it, to make it efficient and strategic consumption is something that are very hard for us to achieve right now. Of course, the limitation of the technology, the current technology that we have, and research process has been so in Germany when I involved in the hydrogen spillover projects. We call it hydrogen spillover catalyst discovery in BMW. This is involved in the EV and the hydrogen technology that we want to embed in the future. So this has been proven across automotive lah, agriculture and urban governance projects. Is cash how disciplined data consumption leads to faster, more reliable, and more trusted result. Okay, so I will explain later. So I involved in the catalyst discovery, and this is a few of the expert that joined me as well. So okay, in R&D, in research and development, especially in the material science discoveries and also the new material discoveries of the composites, we always have a lot of parameter that we want to manage, and all that parameters, of course, the combinations of the composites, the combinations of the items, the compound that could have become the candidate for to become the catalyst. Where so it takes time for us to find the best catalyst. So what we do, we apply AI, but previously we will not have any LPU like Grok LPU and also the TPU like Google. It was A100s, and BMW funded the projects, and yeah, we reduced the experimental iterations by 30%, improved selection accuracy, and save significant R&D time and cost. So I involved in this project since 2021. And AI implementations, of course, in Sarawak, one of the most promising promising industry is palm oil industry. So currently I develop AI model, foliar fertilization system, drone system for palm plantations. And this is the partnership between TIZA and also the Sarawak governments and the Ministry of Food Industry. So currently we are building systems where the drone can be autonomously fly and spread the fertilizer and apply the fertilizers 3 by 3 recognition system. So this also we involve the data consumption as well for to develop. Upcoming project as well, the urban governance, project smart city data integrations. Also we are working on the proposal, and of course we want to implement the data consumption as well, and hopefully we can manage the difficulty and the complexity of the data management, especially in the smart city, as we integrate a lot of system from the energy, from the infrastructures, and also the mobilities. All these things need to be clearly managed, and AI data and AI, we need to use AI very well to manage the data consumption as well. So yeah, the cross-sector impacts, achieve consistent 30 to 40% reduction in data processing load. Okay, as we know that in AI, there are three important things. First one is the data collections. Second one is the high processing facility. Third one is the algorithm. So with the data consumptions management systems, we can achieve a good AI and a great AI as well. And of course, as the time goes on, I do believe there will be a future GPU that could help us to make a better AI, and also to implement more AI models to train and also to fine tune in the future. So by 2030, the leaders in the smart city and industries innovations will be defined by their ability to manage data consumption effectively. So this is what we need to achieve in ASEAN country especially, so that we can improve the efficiencies and the inclusivity for the infrastructures, public sectors, and also the mobility across ASEAN. So more data is not always better, but smarter data consumptions deliver with a greater impact. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you, Franklin. Very, very, very interesting topic. Okay, my question to Franklin, tapi aku pun dah cakap tadi kan. Okay, you've achieved something very rare, as I mentioned earlier. And what I see here that is important is that Franklin has helped us to achieve cross-sector AI value creation, from automotive to agriculture, to corporate, to governance, urban governance. And I want you to share with all of us. In fact, Alif is from Madi. Alif, okay, is from Madi. And he did even a very robust paddy dashboard that can even track using Google Earth a lot of data and all that. And what you have done, what does this tell us about the future competitive dynamics in urban AI? And where do you see the strategic battlegrounds emerging? Is it from within the government, from the policymakers, from the stakeholders, or your other committee and all that?
We need to see how China and America, the United States of America, how they successfully making the AI as the main topic, as the main focus for them. Even during the trade war topics, they involve it as well. So in Malaysia as well, our governments, the policymakers, the talent need to work together. Okay, so because AI cannot be achieved if we only have a talent that love to develop AI. But the problem is, to develop AI, we need to have a very high computational facility. Meaning to say, we need to have a very good data center, very good GPU to process the AI model, to train the AI model, to fine-tune the AI model. I do believe younger than me, smarter than me, the talents in Malaysia, there are lots. There might be thousands outside there. So I do believe they want to develop the AI. The problem is the facility and also the high computing facility, HCF we call it, is something that are very important for us to develop in Malaysia, and the government need to support, and the policymaker also need to support, and how we can implement and deploy the goods the open hard computing facility in Malaysia. So then we can have a lot of talents with learn or try the AI model, fine tune the AI model, because now we have a very huge Hugging Face open source community. So I do believe a lot of opportunity if we focus on the implementation and also developments of the hard computing facility.
Yeah, the communities are all here. You see, from Lee Wilson to Andre to Professor Dr. Hani, and then the youngest talents in the room, Fasa and Rohan, 10, 12 years old, already developing their own AI projects and all that. And of course, you have the 22 ministries. Angkat tangan, all the ladies and guys from the ministry. Hey, where's the 22? Tak angkat tangan punya? They are all your project stakeholders as well. Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much. And last and the youngest, most beautiful lady in the room, let's welcome Natalie Loy. As I mentioned, she's from Unbound, Malaysia. She's the head of tech. And of course, she has 10 years of government-private partnerships that has been successfully deployed. And she also got recognition from the Australian High Com. So Natalie, over to you.
Hi, all right. So now it's my turn.
Hey, where's the claps? Why so low
It's okay,
energy
it's
one?
okay. So today, so today we'll be actually talking about a little bit about artificial intelligence cities. I think in terms of explaining to you what I do, I would like to call it Bob the Builder. I'm a problem solver. So what we do is we actually go around to different city councils, different governments across the world. We listen to their problems and we come up with technological or digital solutions to solve their problems. So most of my business is basically B2G lah. You might recognize some of our brands, Unbound, ignited by Expex, Cellcom, with FWD Takaful or HSBC Amanah. And this year we're actually doing a new collaboration dengan Suruhanjaya Security atau Securities Commissions on financial digital literacy for students and university students all across Malaysia. However, our span or our core technology, this is some of our educational systems that we've built. We work with about 80% of all the universities across Malaysia on educational systems, learning management systems. They are all Sharia approved as well. So we actually focus on gamified learning systems. But at the core of it is actually our AI systems or our smart development systems. I think if you see here, you will be able to notice that all the developments are actually done for intelligent traffic management, smart parking ecosystem, carbon emission system, things that you're actually quite familiar with. Not just the NLPs like ChatGPT, but also things like computer vision and machine learning. So quite a few different artificial intelligence systems. We are very heavily supported by Malaysian Digital Economic Corporation atau Malaysia MITEC, the Australian Business News, which is ABC News, the Australian government, and also Think City. Okay, so our span doesn't just reach in Malaysia. In fact, we work with city councils or governments all across the world, such as in Canada, we're talking in the European region, we're talking in Southeast Asia, Australia, our latest Latin America or Brazil, and also in Asia. So what happens is, I'm actually very excited to let you know that a lot of these countries actually look up to Malaysian technology, Malaysian smart city development. They call Malaysian Smart City Development as the elder sister or the taikatse. When I went to Brazil, they were like, okay, tell me any of the AI systems that you've deployed in Malaysia and deploy them here. That's how much they look up to us because our infrastructure is very well developed. I like to call Malaysia the developed developing country. So and today I think my message is very simple. AI looks different at every level. Currently, I'm standing here not just as the founder of Unbound or the CTO of Unbound, but also part of the MTFSB, so the Malaysian Technological Standards Development Board for Artificial Intelligence. I stand there as under AI ethics and transparency, also part of MDEC and things like this to talk about our Malaysian digital stages. Okay, so you can see here, when we are working with countries such as Indonesia, sometimes people will be like, shouldn't we develop the biggest and best AI system for our country? I would like to challenge that statement. I feel like sometimes we shouldn't always look at the biggest and newest technology. Countries such as Indonesia, where their different states have very different development status, we need to look at what actually they need. So this system that you notice here is actually developed on a mobile phone. They're able to use their mobile phone to detect the potholes all across the ground and able to solve that. I don't need to create a drone system for them, tak ya? Because right now, mobile phone penetration in Indonesia is at 125%. That means that one person owns more than one phone already. So clearly we need to develop systems that actually suit their country. And this is something we developed in Malaysia. So in Malaysia, as I said, developed of all the developing countries, what happens is we have very strong infrastructure already. So when the government comes to me and like, okay, I have issue with enforcement. I think if you're from Malaysia, you know lah. Sometimes there's people, they like to cross the roads left and right and they're not being carefully or properly enforced. And Malaysia is actually one of the hubs for drone development and also drone systems development. So in Malaysia, we developed drone systems that are able to autonomously fly around, quite similar to what you did, Franklin, and they're able to automatically detect violations, penalties, and even CO2 emissions. And then now we move up to the next country. So let's talk about Brazil. Brazil is a developing country as well, but what do they like? Brazilians love football. Any football fans here? Oh, quite a lot. So what we developed here is actually an artificial intelligence system that is able to dynamically check player performance. This is the same thing that I'm developing in smart cities. But now when I go to Brazil, I hear their problem. They're like, okay, maybe our infrastructure is not there yet, can? But we have a huge interest in football. I'm like, no problem. Let me develop to you a AI training system. So currently I'm talking to some of the Brazilian football teams and QPR, if you know them, from London, to actually deploy our artificial intelligence sport training system. This is only done with one CCTV. In one CCTV, I'm able to track a percent of up to 90% accuracy, offsides, penalties, goals, at this level of accuracy. Of course, I burned a few computers training this system as well. And then the next one, we move up to Korea. So in Korea, I think we all know is quite a developed country. But what is Korea popular about? Their government said, okay, I want to encourage more students to come to our country. But our focus is K-pop. Okay, so all right, I'll develop for you an artificial intelligence system that focuses on K-pop. So here we developed an augmented reality platform or gamified system that collects data while people are going through the system, but at the same time promotes the concept of K-pop or Korean culture. Clearly, technology needs to be localized. And when we're talking about very advanced countries like Australia, so that's a developed country, right? Australia is very worried about privacy. Now I could go and say, okay, let me develop an ANPR system for you, ANPR CCTV that's able to, like what we use in Malaysia, able to detect your face and know what violation you're doing. They're like, no, tak boleh. My PDPA laws say that I need to protect my people. Okay, let's think about this creatively. I can still deploy these cameras, but maybe my system and AI system then needs to focus more on heat maps, right? I can still tell that you are a human based on your silhouette. I'm still able to train my models, but I'm looking at this thing differently now. So what I want to say here today is that when we're developing tech, we don't always think about the biggest and the greatest solution. Tech can be affordable and it can be localized. There is no such thing as a one-size-fits-all, right? Especially in Malaysia, we need to think creatively. We come from an amazing multicultural society, so we're always having conversations with people with different backgrounds. So we should use that conversation and that advantage to basically create artificial intelligence cities. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie. That was amazing. We only have 5 minutes left. So my question is for Natalie first, and after that, I would want to invite Charlie and Franklin to also share your opinion. Okay, this question. What Natalie has shared and what I'm observing is that a strategic framework. Successful urban AI requires evidence architecture, requires implementation excellence from Franklin. So evidence architecture is from Charlie, and adaptive implementation from Natalie. So her case study says AI looks different at every level, right? So how do these three capabilities from each of you, how do they together create sustainable competitive advantage when tailored to specific development context? It could be urban, it could be suburban, it could be to the what do you call it, to interiors and all that. Natalie first.
I think at the end of the day, right, any government, they're holding the people's money. So when they want to invest in a technology, they want to see proven case studies or evidence-based case studies. So I can see that UrbanMetry, what they're doing there is they're trying to prove that their system works with data. At the end of the day, when you're pitching a proposal, when you're creating an AI system, you should go in with evidence. This system works. Why? It's because at the end of the day, we want to invest in systems that are sustainable, right? And then the next one that we're talking about is actually based on the, sorry, what was yours? Yours was evidence and then
Implementation,
implementation framework. So
execution layer.
yes, execution, right? We want to make sure that things actually work when we're executing it. But this brings into the form that no implementation can be done with one party. Technology requires a multi-stakeholder approach. You need different government agencies, you need the users, and you need the consumers, and you also need the developers to come together to actually solve a problem. At the end of the day, let's just say I'm trying to solve flood issues, right? And I implement all these sensors. But if I implement all these sensors and the consumers are not being told that there's a flood, clearly my system doesn't work. Technology is a multi-stakeholder approach that you need to look from many different angles. So I think that brings to my thing, which is
Adaptive implementation, which is the differentiation layer that's on top, and the middle is implementation layer, which is the execution by Franklin.
So when we're talking about adaptation, I think that just brings into the conversation of localization. Clearly, every technology, the most important framework or core is humans. AI can never replace humans. At the end of the day, we are important to allocate resources. We're important for management. In fact, PwC recently, what they're doing is they're training their interns to be managers, to actually upskill their interns and train them how to utilize AI as interns instead. So clearly you can see that AI's job is actually to upskill us, not to replace us. And that's where our mentality needs to shift a little bit. AI is for localization. AI is to upskill us. All right.
Franklin, your thoughts?
So for me, always simple. For us to make sure that AI can be something that are useful, something that can be implemented, we need to have a good roadmap on AI, especially in the implementations of the urban and in the city as well. So the talents, the organizations, and also the ministry, the government need to sit down in one round table to discuss on how we can achieve something that can be optimum by AI. Of course, we need to make sure along the journey, we need to be ready in the infrastructure, we need to be ready in the talent, and we need to be ready in the mindset as well. Meaning to say, not only Kuala Lumpur, in the police, in Sarawak, and Sabah, everyone know what is AI. And once we gather the informations together, once everyone unites, of course, we can achieve the optimums of AI, especially implementation in the city, in the rural area at the same time. That's what I thought. Of course, this era for me is just a beginning, long way, long journey, and governments and people need to work together to achieve the best optimum AI in our country.
Thank you, Franklin. We have 36 seconds, so over to Charlie.
Thanks for the 36 seconds. I think, the panelists have said most of the key points, but I think fundamentally, I hope everybody realized from this summit that the cost of intelligence is going to go very near to zero. It's going to be commoditized. Anything you want to build, AI is going to be able to build it, right? Very easily. You no longer, the cost of actually getting a technology or software to be up is going to zero rise, like how energy, electricity, it'll be commoditized, right? So at the end of the day, the value comes from, do you know how to ask the right questions? What is the problem statement you want to solve? Natalie was just saying like the flood, right? So, just building something, I think I today can build something that is, I'm not techie, by the way, I'm just a CEO. And I could actually build a detection of potholes, whatever, with AI. But the problem is, what is the right question to ask? Are you detecting the flood for warning? Are you minimizing lives lost? Are you minimizing using it to plan the next infrastructure? The problem is that we don't have enough people to understand what questions to ask.
Okay, sorry, Charlie, I think we have got a queue that we have to end.
Sure.
Yeah, so sorry about that. But thank you everyone for coming. Thanks to Charlie, Franklin, and Natalie. And of course, we have AI in the city. Give the speakers a round of applause. Thank you so much.